look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back his skepticism when Floyd Mayweather's real estate claims came up. He essentially leaned in and questioned the numbers, saying they just didn't add up.
One of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire that had a 9% interest on the loan.
Joe Rogan questioned the narrative surrounding Floyd Mayweather, noting that claims of owning dozens of buildings worth tens of millions don't always align with verifiable assets, and emphasizing that bold statements and confirmed holdings are not the same.
Money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
It's
pay.
neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
And that's where things get interesting, because Floyd Mayweather built his entire Money Mayweather persona around limitless wealth, stacks of cash, luxury watches, and an untouchable financial empire. But reports circulating in business circles suggest a far more complicated reality.
Floyd Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
According to Business Insider, 2 of Floyd Mayweather's commercial properties have reportedly faced foreclosure, and there are also claims that his Las Vegas strip club building risked being seized over unpaid property taxes. add in lawsuits alleging unpaid luxury watch and jewelry bills, claims Mayweather has denied, and the narrative quickly shifts from flashy wealth to deeper financial scrutiny.
Things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan.
The outlet also reported that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos tied to Floyd Mayweather were briefly seized over unpaid taxes before being returned after payment, while a reported $54 million loan allegedly uses homes, private jet, and businesses as collateral. Whether it's exaggeration or a misunderstanding, the contrast between the money, image, and these reports has clearly fueled debate. Skepticism from Joe Rogan had already stirred doubts about Floyd's financial empire, but then Chael Sonnen entered the conversation with a far more blunt take, essentially questioning why anyone finds this Floyd broke. Narrative surprising at all.
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. That they say can't read. That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing gym, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. They didn't teach him about contracts. They didn't teach him about saving. They didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
He flips the question back on the audience, arguing that if everyday people work because they need money, it shouldn't be surprising for a boxer to keep fighting for the same reason. It's classic Chael Sonnen logic, part blunt honesty, part trolling. But he doesn't stop there. Sonnen goes further, breaking down the mythology around boxing paydays, suggesting that billion-dollar earnings and massive pay-per-view numbers often come from promotional claims rather than independently verified financial records. He even pointed out that no one directly involved in processing those pay-per-views has publicly confirmed such figures, an argument that challenges years of hype surrounding the sport.
Gambling addict. He's got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
At the same time, Chael Sonnen isn't just criticizing Floyd Mayweather. He's taking aim at the entire culture of sports financial storytelling. He then pivots to the chaos around contracts, pointing out how Floyd announcing multiple fights around a supposed Mike Tyson matchup would frustrate any promoter, since timing and exclusivity are crucial in the fight business. That's where the irony stands out, as Sonnen notes Floyd accusing Showtime of questionable business practices.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic.
While critics accuse Floyd Mayweather's own promotions of similar confusion in dealings with Logan Paul, the narrative starts to feel like a hall of mirrors, where everyone sees someone else as the villain. Yet here's the contradiction Chael Sonnen unintentionally highlights. People may question Floyd's finances, doubt the paydays, debate contracts, or dismiss exhibitions. But the moment Mayweather's name appears on a fight poster, the entire combat sports world still stops and pays attention.
Mayweather owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And now, of course, he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, by the way.
Chael Sonnen had already thrown fuel on the whole Floyd Mayweather might be broke conversation, but then Jason Whitlock and his panel took it even further, turning the discussion into what felt like a full-on financial investigation. It quickly shifted from fight analysis to something closer to forensic accounting with boxing gloves on. Whitlock leaned into the theory from Shannon Sharpe and others that Floyd's potential return is all about chasing another massive payday. And once names like Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, and Terrence Crawford started getting mentioned, the business angle became obvious. Those are the kinds of super fights that could generate the level of money Floyd might be targeting. Then Whitlock added a twist with a Rocky-style question: why do you fight? And suddenly the conversation took a surprisingly philosophical turn in the middle of all the financial speculation.
Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no choice.
Yeah, but Floyd built his entire brand around the idea that money equals success, literally transforming from pretty boy to money. Whitlock points out the brutal irony. When your image is all about wealth, even a hint of financial trouble becomes headline gold. Dre adds a grounded perspective. The real issue isn't what Floyd earned. It's what we don't know: liquidity, assets, liabilities, taxes, lifestyle. Basically, the financial iceberg lurking beneath the flashy Instagram posts. Meanwhile, the panel cracks jokes about gamblers going bust, IRS bills, and luxury spending, turning what looks like a victory lap into a complicated puzzle. And here's the funny part. While half the panel questions the wisdom of a nearly 50-year-old stepping back in the ring, the other half quietly admits what every fight fan already knows. If Floyd actually announces a bout against Crawford, Canelo, or even Pacquiao, all the arguments will be forgotten the moment the bell rings.
Billion dollars, and he's 47 years old, and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly 50 years old. This doesn't prove anything.
Whitlock and the panel had already framed Floyd's comeback as a financial courtroom drama. But when Andre Ward joins the conversation, the energy shifts instantly, from hot take speculation to thoughtful fighter insight. Ward starts by highlighting his long-standing respect for Floyd's work ethic, a side often overshadowed by the flashy persona of the Flash. He points out that while the cars, jets, and luxury were all part of the Mayweather brand, beneath it was always a dedicated gym rat who never skipped a grind. When Ward admits he feels conflicted about the comeback, it rings authentic. He isn't attacking Floyd like the rumor mill. He's speaking to something deeper. Boxing, he explains, becomes part of your identity, and the adrenaline, the spotlight, and those massive fight night checks create a thrill that ordinary life can't match.
Part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing, it was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included early on.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather's comeback is about the money, pure love for boxing, or settling unfinished business with Manny Pacquiao? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear the real takes. And hey, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fight Scope. Catch you in the next one.